To round out this presentation, I got to interview the preeminent representative of the Yoshino cherry trees on campus, and we talked about climate change. Thankfully, Mississippi has folk like Acacia Warren, who help kids understand their feelings as they develop. Being in an environment surrounded by wilderness and fire can be daunting for some folk, but for Taylor, being a part of the Fire Performers campsite made her feel safe. It's no question that students enjoy the energy that the crosswalk guards are putting out. And for crosswalk guard Jennifer Williams, it's a two-way street.
Sometimes they help me make it through the day. You know, I have sad moments and everything like that. You know, I'm a normal human. But when I get here, I just know that somebody's fixing to smile at me and somebody's fixing to say hey or good morning. And it just, every good morning just kind of brings you up a little step, and then, you know, it's awesome.
As Maya Angelou once said, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. For Williams, a simple hello is a good first step. Cody Ferris, Hotty Toddy News.
Fewer cups of coffee may be served up at Starbucks on Jackson in the coming days, says store manager Jack Everett.
Around 20% of our sales we lose during that time frame. The biggest difference is going to be like mobile order and pay especially.
Without students clogging up the drive-thru, more people are coming inside to sit down for their drinks.
Here's that latte.
Thank you.
I think a lot more people are more interested in actually sitting in the cafe when there's less people, you know, gathering on the handoff plane for sure.
At the Catherine Beck Boutique, fewer students and less foot traffic means town natives get to enjoy a slower pace, according to clerk Annadale Franks.
Every day someone will come in and be like, it's so nice, like I can see the road, like, you know.
For some Oxford locals, the best part about spring break may be getting the town to themselves. For Newswatch, I'm Meredith Lakehar.
Luggage carts will be full at local hotels at graduation time, but many people are still searching for a room. In it, Ole Miss General Manager Paige Dean says they are always booked and busy, and especially convenient for commencement.
We don't have the newest property in town. You know, we're not the fanciest and shiniest and brightest, but our location for people to be able to park here and walk to the Grove.
According to Dean, the inn is already completely booked for the week of graduation, so it seems the time to reserve rooms has already come and gone.
And this seems to be the case for most hotels in Oxford, with the standard rate of remaining rooms for the week of graduation costing anywhere from $150 to $300 a night, according to Expedia. Dean says it's based on supply and demand.
Okay, so the graduation rates are going from around 170 starting on a Wednesday, and they are going to, that's for our basic room. For suites, they're going to be upwards to $450 a night.
Even Ole Miss graduating senior Chance Davidson says his family has had a difficult time finding a place to stay.
My grandparents are actually staying in Tupelo, but my aunt, she reached out to a hotel company and they said they were holding off on reservations.
Meaning they don't have any rooms. With graduating classes only getting bigger as the years go on, it'll be interesting to see if Oxford will be able to keep up with the demand for rooms at graduation. For Newswatch Ole Miss, I'm Seth Parento.
Although donations may be down, partners like the Leapfrog program here at St. Peter's have had to jump into action. Leapfrog is a nonprofit literacy program at Oxford that relies on United Way donations to help students. Director Whitney Sweeney says it warms her heart when she sees the importance of reading come together with students in the program, and her stories about the students speak for themselves.
So one day he was against it. He goes, I don't want to read. I'm going to play sports, and he was super athletic. One day you just saw it click. He goes, it clicked, the reading, all the phonics went together, and he passed his reading gate test, and his mom called. He was so excited.
United Way Oxford Director Kurt Brummett explained the downward trend in donations.
And there were some tax law changes several years back. It doubled the standard deduction, so a lot of times people were using that when they itemized their taxes. They would use the donations, but with many people just using the standard deduction, that kind of de-incentivized giving.
According to Sweeney, this funding is critical to the success of students in the Leapfrog program.
The biggest thing we are trying to help is for them to pass their reading gate test in 3rd grade. You have to pass that on the state level to move on to 4th grade. So we're trying to prepare all the students to be able to pass that 3rd grade reading gate test.
Brummett says the proof is in the pudding, and he sees great outcomes of programs like Leapfrog in the Oxford Lafayette community. Newswatch, Cody Ferris, Ole Miss. Some University of Mississippi students were shocked this morning when they found a large tree fallen in the grove. Seniors Olivia Young and Jonathan Sinceri say that this tree falling is rather sad.
Well, the first thing I heard when I got to campus today was the sound of the chainsaw. And once I looked to my left, I saw the tree had fallen. And it felt like a piece of me was gone, you know?
It kind of caught me off guard because I never thought I'd see a grove tree just on the ground like that.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the university's landscaping services take fallen trees seriously. Ground supervisor for the south side of campus, Matt Foley, was there today clearing the debris.
We'll form a team together and we'll load everything up and we'll come out here and we will make sure everything's roped off safety-wise and start cutting it up.
However, the fallen tree in the grove was not alone.
No, this is not the only tree. I just got a phone call that there's another tree down blocking the road over by the chancellor's house.
When fallen trees block roads, clearing them becomes top priority.
The tree is blocking the roadway. It's hard for emergency vehicles to get through, so we have to get that clear.
The tree near the chancellor's house was cleared quickly, but the tree in the grove is not cleared yet because of its size. In the meantime, Foley urges students to heed the caution tapes around it.
If you see the yellow caution tape, please kind of stay away. We put that out for everyone else's safety, not for ours.
Thankfully, the university's celebration for Arbor Day has been rescheduled for this Friday. There, students and faculty can plant back what was lost. Cody Ferris, Newswatch, Ole Miss. When a bolt breaks down on a $700,000 machine,
when it hit this knife, it sheared the bolt off.
Everyone gets a little worried. But the owner of this massive wood chipper, Dylan McInnes, is used to challenges working in Mississippi's forestry industry.
We had a plywood plant in Beaumont. Last year, a tornado hit it and it tore the roof off. Our company was probably their biggest supplier of logs, and what they do there is make plywood. That's hurt us this past year, and it's hurt everyone. When you lose a mill goes down, you lose 80, 90 loads a day. We've had some people, go out of business because of that,
From weather woes to wear and tear on equipment, the timber industry can be tough. That's why cooperation and camaraderie are kings in these forests. Dwayne and Austin Williams are a father and son that work with McInnes, and it's an occupation that spans the generations for many local families.
Just working with my friends, family, growing up with my dad, learning from him.
And now he's teaching his son.
Yeah, teaching him. It's a hard process.
I said a lot,
One thing that could make a hard job even harder is climate change. But that's not a big worry for McInnes right now.
I'm not 100% sold on climate change. I'm not denying it either by any means, but I think if there's something happening that is going to be long term, I think it's moving so slow that we haven't seen it here.
McInnes does worry about the environmental impacts of logging, and he requires his crews to get training from the state.
Some of the practices we implement, we try to help the wildlife, to try to promote air and water quality. So I'm passionate about that myself,
But there are critics of Mississippi's timber industry who say wood pellet manufacturers like Enviva Biomass buy chips from McInnes and others which create air pollution that can cause health problems in nearby communities. They also say pellet fuel is as bad or worse for the environment as coal. All of this adds more complexity to this multi-billion-dollar industry, but McInnes is simply focused on being a good steward of the forests he loves.
We're taking care of the land, we have game to hunt, and in turn we help endangered species.
McInnes is part of a movement to restore the longleaf pine species to Mississippi's forests, an ecosystem that was nearly wiped out by poor logging practices of the past.
The fauna in the forest, the flowers, the different grasses and things that were there back at the turn of the century are kind of coming back with some practices we're implementing.
As timber trucks roll along Mississippi's roads, they represent 70,000 jobs and carry a product that will play a big role in Mississippi's environmental future. In Greene County, Cody Ferris,